Hello, my name's James.
I'm Les.
And welcome to Toxic Male NASCAR. We made some picks back on Wednesday for the Duel 1 and Duel 2. And today we're going to talk about how the races went and how our picks went. As you can obviously tell, Dad's a little happy. So
Very happy. I whooped your butt.
yeah. In Duel 1, Dad chose Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, and Paul Menard. I chose Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Daniel Hemrick. In duel number 1, Jimmy Johnson finished 8th, Kevin Harvick finished 1st, Paul Menard finished 3rd, giving Dad a total of 12 finishing positions. For me, Kyle Busch finished 18th, Martin Truex Jr. finished 17th, Daniel Hemrick finished 5th, giving me a total finishing position of 40.
The Toyotas did not do too well in those duels.
No, they did not. A couple standouts I did want to talk about in this race were indeed Daniel Suarez. I thought that he looked pretty good there, and when they were a single file, he was picking his way through. I thought that was pretty impressive with him. I did really enjoy the three-way duel between Parker Kligerman, Tyler Reddick, and Ryan Truex for who was going to make it into the race.
Do you know who didn't do as good in the results? Where did he finish? Austin Dillon.
Austin Dillon. Was he even in this one?
Yeah, he was in one of those two duels.
He wasn't in this duel, though. We'll talk about him in the next one.
Okay.
Paul Menard, I don't know what that guy's got up his ass right now, but he is doing really good at Daytona.
I'm liking Paul Menard a lot. He's got a lot of gumption. The kid really, really is wheeling that car.
Yeah, and of course, Kevin Harvick, he looked pretty good out there too, but it was kind of a boring race. I hope the Daytona 500 isn't like that. It's kind of boring. So yeah, Dad won that one.
The one line is really,
yeah.
NASCAR's got to do something. They've got to be able to run 2 and 3 lines. Like, wow. I don't know if any of you remember, I imagine most of you do, what it was like to watch a Daytona race 3, 4, 5, 15, 20 years ago, when they used to be able to jump lines and move up and move back. And it was really exciting, especially when you'd watch Dale Earnhardt Jr. Picking lines as he moved up and then jumping into other lines. And everyone wanted to be on his tail or on his nose because they knew Dale Earnhardt Jr. knew how to get to the front. And you could ride around the back of the pack back then for most of the race. And in the last 20 laps, you could get yourself back to the front, and that's just not the case anymore. That just it makes for some pretty boring racing.
Yeah, it does. So with that first duel, Dad won with 12 finishing positions to my 40 finishing positions, guaranteeing him the first pick in the Daytona 500 because he also won the Clash. So he's going to get the first pick no matter what. For Duel 2, I chose Chase Elliott, who finished 8th, Kurt Busch, who finished 4th, Denny Hamlin, who finished... Kurt Busch finished 5th, and Denny Hamlin finished 4th. Dad chose Ryan Blaney, who finished 6th, Joey Logano, who finished 1st, and Kyle Larson, who finished 12th. I beat Dad by a very slim margin this race. It doesn't really matter, but I beat him 17-19.
Yes, but I got the winner in both of those duels.
You did.
I got the winner in both duels.
You did pick the winner. They were both your second picks, though, so...
Doesn't matter, they were still winners.
Yeah, so Joey, he looked like the class act out there, to be honest with you. Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott, that duel between the two of them for a while there, that was pretty interesting.
Okay, I wanted to say something about Austin Dillon.
Yeah.
Where did he finish in that particular race?
9th.
9th. Now, what I did watch about Austin Dillon is more than once during the race, he actually attempted to pull down to the bottom using the draft and trying to get enough speed going, got side-drafted the car next to him, and more than once, I think twice that I saw, he almost made the pass, and he had the decency and the good driving ability, knowing that he didn't have the pass, and he was just about there on one of the cases. He backed up and went back in. But what it tells me is that Austin Dillon actually was really, him and his spotter know something, that they know there's a way to do it. And then when you watched Joey Logano and Dave Blaney, Ryan Blaney, the son. I keep saying Dave Blaney.
He does this all the time.
Anyway, But when you watched Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano do that at the end of the race, they did exactly what Austin Dillon had been trying to do. So that particular move does work, but you need somebody behind you to help.
I personally think that in these duels, everybody was way more conservative because they wanted to save their cars for the Daytona 500 because nobody wants to go to the backup car for the Daytona 500. Right. And so I think everyone was just trying to save their cars, and that's why there was no wrecks except for Kyle Busch getting spun out by Jimmy Johnson, and there was nothing really risky.
I think there was actually
crazy.
more at it, though, in stake. Everyone knows that it's a single-file race, and it's really hard to gain positions in this particular race.
Yeah.
Outside of in this pits and stuff like that. So I think they wanted, they're all looking for the best qualifying position.
In this race, Chase Elliott got to start up front, and he finished 8th. And Jimmy Johnson, he got to start up front in the other race, and he finished 8th. So I saw in this race, I don't think starting position really matters too much. But these were a lot smaller of fields, so it'll be more interesting to see in the Daytona 500. So that's
Jimmy Johnson actually spun Kyle Busch too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, so that's our review for the Duel 1 and Duel 2 of the Daytona 500. I did want to give a little shout out to Austin Hill. He did pretty good in the truck race. It was actually kind of an interesting truck race. Only 9 cars finished, right? That's all we have to say about the truck race.
I got something to say.
Oh.
Come on, NASCAR! 3 flat tires in the first lap from debris.
That
or
actually
something?
was really crazy.
Exactly. What exactly were you watching? Can we actually pay some attention somehow?
Yeah. How do you get debris before the green even fucking flies?
And how come nobody noticed it? Like, honestly.
Yeah,
what's going on there?
That was pretty crazy.
We watched as many replays as we could find. It's pretty hard to find anything on trucks. And, man, I would really like to see it on, available to watch on TV or something.
Well, yeah, we're from Canada, and they have a contract in Canada with Fox to play the truck races. And we have an alternative to Fox in Canada called TSN. And TSN doesn't think that it's worthwhile to run the truck races here in Canada because they don't get enough money off of it.
So we don't get them.
Yeah, so we don't get truck races here in Canada.
Get them on the computer. We can't even get them on anything.
We could if we paid for the Fox subscription or whatever it is, but it's not really worth it.
No.
So we don't really watch truck races. We do look at the highlights and we do look at the finishing positions because those are the drivers of tomorrow, and I try to keep up with it a little bit. Anyways,
we noticed the truck race is now called the Gander.
Gander Outdoors. Yeah, I don't like it.
Having been to Gander, Newfoundland, thanks for. I'm sure they're all pretty happy that they named it after their town.
I'm sure there's like one person in Gander that even knows that it's happened.
Ah, well, that's true.
So yeah, that's it for us on a review of the duels and the truck race. You can expect our videos to be kind of like this, pertaining to every race. So you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like and subscribe for some more, and I hope you enjoy the Daytona 500 tomorrow. See ya.